and it is Wellness Wednesday. And we're very glad to have Allie Sparks with us. She's a registered dietitian with Blue Cross of Idaho. We're talking about sugar this morning and hydration, ways to stay hydrated, get your water in, and make sure you're drinking, but not all that added sugar. So good morning, Allie. Thanks so much for stopping by today.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Got my water here. We'll talk about it later because it's not actually all water. It's actually Crystal Light, so I do want to ask you about that. But why don't you start with just talking a little bit about, as kids are getting back into school and back into sports and all that kind of stuff. I know one thing they say is those sports drinks sometimes have a lot of added sugar, don't they?
Absolutely, yeah. And because they have not only sugar, but a bunch of other stuff that we don't necessarily need day to day to stay hydrated, we really don't recommend sports drinks unless you're exercising for more than about an hour at a time. So outside after practice might be a good idea, but throughout the rest of the day, it's probably not the best choice.
Okay, and now you brought a little display here with all these different drinks, some kind of drinks that we all drink all the time. But is this how much sugar is actually in each one of these?
Absolutely, yes. So each one is ranging from about 12 to 13 teaspoons of sugar in just these drinks.
That's a lot. Kind of scary when you look at it, when you see it like that.
Absolutely.
Is it always going to be labeled as sugar on the ingredient list?
That's a great question, and the answer is not yet. So when you look at the ingredients list, you're looking for most words that end in OSE. So any kind of fructose or dextrose or things like that are going to be sugars 95% of the time.
Okay, so what can we do to make sure we're staying hydrated, but we're not taking on all this added sugar?
Yeah, carrying a water bottle with you is actually a really great idea in terms of drinking more water. And then we can flavor it, because one of the things that I hear all the time is that we don't like the taste of water. So adding things like fruit and herbs, make your own favorite combinations, can really get kids drinking more.
Yeah, and it looks good too, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
It definitely does. Now what about when you go out for coffee, go to a smoothie stand, something like that? Are there any alterations you can make to help it be a healthier drink?
Totally. So doing things like ordering a smaller coffee size or latte size can help save on some of that syrup sugar. Also, a lot of places will do half sweet for you too. So if that's something that you still want that sugar sweetness, we can reduce it a little bit. You're probably not going to notice it too much.
Okay, so my big question for you, everyone here at work knows I love diet soda. This is Crystal Light right now that I'm drinking. It's not water in here. And I add creamer to my coffee as well. What about those that, you know, it's diet? It's not sugar in there, is it? But it's still some kind of sweetening.
Absolutely. It's actually an artificial sweetener, which, I mean, it's not something that we need day to day either, and long term might have some other consequences as well. So if you're looking for a low calorie option, absolutely artificial sweeteners are great.
Okay. But water is probably the best alternative.
Water's king.
Okay. Lesson learned. Everyone drink up your water. And thank you, Allie, so much for the tips today.
No problem.